So are we aligned in our life? Are we on this line we need to be, like right here? Or are we not aligned and we're not in the flow where we need to be? And that's what we're going into today. That's how the vibe's going to be, waving forward. The vibes, you know how we go. We keep moving, we keep flowing, and that's how we going. But if you're not aligned, we got to talk. We got to find ways how to get better. And we're going to talk about how burning could be really not great, when it gets down on our body. How can we feel how we could get better on it. Let's break it down, man. Page 42. 4 ways to remain in alignment. Don't listen to the feeling you need to perform for others. Say no to situations that burn way too much your energy. Surround yourself with people who love the authentic you and let your intuition guide you, not your fears or cravings. So look, these 4. Let me break this down. Let your intuition guide you, not your fears or cravings. Your intuition is gonna get you out your intuition knows the best for your growth. Your intuition knows what you need to do so you could be the best version that you really want to be. So trust it more than how your fears or what you love to do at all single time. Surround yourself with people who love the real you. So meaning not the version that you plan to be, this version you put so people just be like, oh, he's a cool dude. The version where you're 100% yourself with all your personalities, when you're vibing with your homies and they could tell that this is your real self, your real energy. Surround people that love that you. Don't surround people that, that talk behind your back, would say cruel things or, use you and they will say, oh, this is what you did, but in reality, you never did that. And they'll say things about your character that has nothing to do with it. Don't surround you that. Don't surround people that don't truly respect you and don't really love you like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't calling, they ain't texting, or they ain't, supporting you no matter wherever you posting, whatever it is. They don't really love you, man. And that's what it is, man. So understand it. And you don't even know. Some of your friends, they love you and stuff, but they don't really love you like how a day one loved you, or someone who's been there for you. They know what you're going through. They know how things gonna be. And that's what it is. Okay, that's 2 out of the 4. Say no to situations that burn way too much energy. As we spoken about people pleasing, that could, energy, you got to say no to that. You got to say no to energy where situations where, like, let's say you're trying to go, like, going to the club late night, going to a party late night, and, when you're younger, you're cool with it. It wasn't burning your energy. But now, the more you go into it, it's burning your energy so much. The next day, you feel like you just had a crazy workout last night, but in reality, you just was partying. All that partying, going to these parties and stuff, you might have to stop, What else I'm trying to think could be too much? Lust is a thing that I will talk about more about because we all as men deal with it, I think women do better job, but at the same time, I think they deal with different. But like, late nights, going to, having, opportunities to, go crazy, having sex and stuff. I think that's another part where we could say, oh, no. If it's your girlfriend, boyfriend, okay, that's understandable. But if it's like times where you're going every night, you're going to people's houses, you're doing this and that, it's like, dang, you don't think it's wearing you out, but it's wearing you down after all that, rounds you have and stuff. You get home, you're tired, you know what I'm saying? Because you had to use all that energy because it's like a workout. It's a workout too, you're burning calories at the same time you're having fun with it. You don't even know what's doing, but you gotta I know that's another one, but it's more of just situations where that you're coming out of it and it feels like you just went out of it. Just feels like you were just at the gym. If it feels like you just came in the gym and you're tired, cut it off. No more. Don't do it no more. And those are a few examples, but I'm just saying, if you have the feeling of you being drained down, wearing down, you feel like you don't know why you feel like this, then there's a situation or whoever it is just took your energy, Maybe you're a giver and people are taking your energy. You got to know who you could be around with that, Takers love to take energy, and sometimes you being a giver, you don't understand how much energy you give. Sometimes you might give too much, not even on purpose. It might just be a way, and you might lose a lot of energy. So that's the 3rd one. The 4th one is don't listen to the feeling you need to perform for others, meaning like, you don't need to listen to that thing to think you need to be this this guy all the time. You don't need to be that 10 out of 10 guy when you with your homies. You don't need to be that version, yo, what's up, this and that, all sunshine guys. You know, they always say like, the happiest guy might be the most saddest guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that is true sometimes. If your friend is so happy so much, maybe, you know, he making y'all laugh. Maybe, you know, he really need a laugh, you know. Maybe, you know, he's really going, if he happy so much, smiling much, you know. Or maybe, you know how they always talk about the other guys, the wise one always gives advice because, you know, they went through a lot, you know. Or I'm trying to think, there's three, you know. I know you spawn one, you're dealing with most of the pain. If you're the wise one, you know, you dealt with a lot of stuff, but you have a lot of advice. So maybe you're trying to help people so they don't deal with what you dealt with. And there's something else. I don't know what it is, but if you know what I'm talking about, hit it in the comment. But yeah, man, don't listen to that feeling like I need to be the best or I need to, you know what I'm saying? Just be you, but don't overextend yourself for your homies and stuff. Cause you know your homies can look at you, but all right, bro, you doing too much. You know, when the females come around, you know that one guy like, oh, I need to, you know what I'm saying? Dirty Mac my homie. No, you don't, bro. That's not right to do. You know, it's dirty Macking crazy. You want to do defense, offense, go ahead, have fun with it, but don't do too much, man. I'll be seeing some of y'all, bro. You think you slick. You be following that DDG and J. Cinco stuff, man. I don't know about that, man. Something about you we don't like, you know what I'm saying? But that's it really for how, those are the 4 ways to remain in alignment. You know, don't listen to that feeling to perform, say no to the situation that wear you down so much, try and pose people who love the real you, and let your intuition guide you and not no fears and cravings. All right, page 43. Big words, man. Whew. All right. On feeling, the ability to feel is often seen as a burden combined with a blessing. It is not only of one of the essential mediums that you use to navigate life in the world, but also where your greatest joys begin is your deepest sorrows take root. Heartache, and happiness exist on different ends of the spectrum of emotions. How you react to what you feel is often your greatest source of dissatisfaction and stress and more. Your past and your present manifest themselves through your ability to feel. Your condition is not just something that is intentional, it's also experienced through the senses you feel in your body. How often you feel morals from something that is meant to inform you is into something that dominates the way you think and act. Healing and personal growth are grounded in establishing a new relationship with what you feel. The default for many is that they let their feelings make decisions for themselves. This does not always yield the best results, because what you often feel dramatics the narrator in your mind and lets you make big decisions based on impermanent emotions. When you let your strongest emotions take the center stage, it becomes easier to feel your own tension, like when you react to your own anger with more anger, which simply makes the tension you feel bigger and bigger. We often react to strong emotion by forgetting that the ever-present law of change ensures that we feel in this moment will not last forever. And a storm may be powerful, but no storm is endless. And we continue. So this is a back-to-back. Giving the space to what you feel is always valued because it is a essential part of healing and letting go. But if you feel like take control if you let it take control, then it will be too easy to fall into the past patterns. Being with it is better than becoming it. There's subtitle space you should become more familiar with. The space where you're reclaiming your power is truly possible. The space where you can feel a fire burning within you without giving it more fuel. The spaces of the mind becomes more available to you when you realize that your first reaction is just your past trying to recreate itself. Left unchecked, your reactions will keep you in a loop where you are looking at your present life through the lens of your past emotion history. If you keep giving power to your first impulse, then you will keep reacting the same way you have reacted in the past. This is the way of living leaves little room for growth for anything new to emerge. The challenge that you face is building enough self-awareness so you could actively say no to your past when it wants to take over. Saying no to your past doesn't mean suppressing it. It just means you will let yourself feel whatever has come up, but you make the choice to allow your present self to remain the dominant force. Days of letting your old fears and anxieties make all decisions for you are over. A new time has arisen where you have patiently created room so your present self could decide what actions will keep you on a path that is truly nourishing, that is true, great, and berating. It is time to let the past rest and fully embrace the present. So, we talked about this, but what these back-to-back pages, 43 and 44, are talking about is don't let anything that triggered you in the past, don't let your emotions, don't let these emotions from the past that triggered you before still trigger you now. Let go of the past, but understand what can trigger you, but don't let it be. Don't let your emotions control who you are in the present still. Whatever triggered you in the past, why are you still letting it still trigger you now? You know what I'm saying? If it's not like on some comedy, reaction, like you get mad on something with your friend thing, and then you could just keep it being, that's it. But if it's like, you getting for real, like real mad, still, it's like, what's the purpose, Because it's like, you don't understand, like, when you're stopping yourself from doing it more every time, you're building that self-awareness so you can understand when your emotions get triggered. When you understand certain things that got you mad in the past, you don't let it keep happening, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is in these back-to-back pages on 43 and 44. It's trying to say, it's like, you're going to let your emotions control you, but you're not going to let yourself control yourself. You're going to let these strong emotions from the past come back to the present, and still you're doing the same thing from the past to the present. But you're not, and as what it's saying is really, you have to let what you dealt with in the past go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is over. You're making this new space and room for a different version of yourself. So where it's like, you see what's going on. And you're like, yo, before I dealt with this, I used to get triggered when people say certain words and stuff. I'm not letting my emotions control me. You have to analyze your emotions sometimes and know, am I saying this, or am my emotion want to say this? You know what I'm saying? Is this a thought that I'm saying right now, or is it my emotion want to say? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is with anger. You'll be angry at a moment, then you'll get more angry. For what? The same thing with certain emotions. Like, yeah, you could be happy, but if you be happy for several hours, not being productive, okay, buddy, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let emotions control you. And that's what I'll say. I ain't gonna say men are very great. It's a 50-50. We're great at understanding our emotions, but our problem is we have hard time to, like, it can be sometimes we can process it great, but sometimes we can't communicate on emotions sometimes. And that's one thing I will say as men, we need to do better is, we have emotions, you could communicate to certain people about it. You don't have to be a woman. It could be a man-to-man talk, you know what I'm saying? But you have to talk about it, break it down, and even talk to yourself sometimes, or write it down, That's the thing about us. Because men are so much of a provider. You got a lot of things on our plate. We tend to think emotions is not something we need to focus. It's like, but it is one thing that God always talks about in the Bible is we can't let our anger control us. And that's one emotion for men is very strong. Women I don't even think it's anger for women. It's, for women, I wouldn't even say it's anger. I would say more like, and that's what, I don't know about that one. I wouldn't say the whole grudge. It can't be a whole grudge. It could be jealous. It could be envy. I'll say one of those maybe. But angry, like wrath, the sin of wrath is more towards men. And that's the emotion that with anger, we need to work on as men. For women, I think it's more of envy. I feel like jealousy, or if we're not that, I feel like it's a pride thing. And that's another thing with men is pride too, with our ego. But what I could say, as men and women, we have these strong emotions. We got to stop letting it take over and let it be. We can't just no, you don't. You don't sometimes. Not all the time you think, oh, I need to say this right back because he thought he was cool saying that. That was some cruel thing. Yeah, he might have said something to hurt you. But sometimes people want to get you mad. Sometimes people want to get you upset. Sometimes people want to get you to be this version they know you really are, but you're really not. You know what I'm saying? They know the version about you. They don't know the version you are now. And I want people to understand you should not let your emotions control you. You should give space, room for you to grow and to understand your emotions, to connect with them and let them be for a minute, but then also get out of it. Be like, yo, I can't be in this emotion so long. You know what I'm saying? You could be mad for a minute. Okay. Give yourself 5 minutes. Complain whatever that happened. Then after 5 minutes, after that clock timer is over for 5 minutes, say this: I can't change nothing. And move on with your life. And what that does, every time it happens, then it gets you more to control your anger. You know, breathe in and out sometimes you feel like you're getting hot. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. What else when you're getting angry? Just don't say nothing. That's another thing. Just don't say nothing. Because then, you know what you're saying in your thought. You're just letting it be and you're cooling yourself down. That's a lot of things to cool yourself down, anger. I have great people, but I see a lot of people with bad anger. You know, they don't know how to control their anger sometimes. And they get in these conflicts because they don't know that I see what's about to happen because I have that anger, you know. I have that anger issues. Like, I can see a conflict about to happen, and I'm telling the person, like, yo, calm down. Yo, calm down. And, then conflict happens and it happens because they not controlling their anger. No, it doesn't matter. You can't control your anger. That's just how it is in life. And we hoop too. I'm not even talking bad about it. It's just like, I used to be that, so I understand your perspective. When it's like, yo, like, what did I do wrong? It's like, I understand you don't think you did nothing wrong, but it's like you let your anger control you. You can't let that. God is ashamed of that. God, that's a sin, man. And that's what it is sometimes. It's like, yo, you letting your emotions control you, and you can't even control your emotions. Sometimes I had to let people, they said something, and I swear, I just didn't want to play for a minute. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, you talking mess. Why are you talking mess? For what? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a right to say anything? No. But you want to say something because you think that's cool. So when God does it to you with someone who's your friend, don't get mad when you hear it. You know what I'm saying? You can't take everything so serious. You can't take it and think you need to react all the time. You need to just look at it and analyze it, break it down. Oh, he said this. This could get me mad, but how can I look at it and be like, yo, okay, maybe I don't need to do that. And for women, whatever emotions that y'all have strong, I don't know if it's envy or jealousy, whatever y'all have emotions y'all have strong, I want y'all to look at it and don't get jealous. That's one thing I feel like women deal with sometimes. They get jealous of their friends or friends that, this and that. I don't want y'all to get jealous. I want you to celebrate when your friends win, because sooner or later you're gonna win in your life. If jealousy is your strong emotion for some women, y'all, don't let jealousy take over. You gotta be proud of people. You gotta be proud when they're winning, because sooner or later it's gonna be your time to win. So just be patient. That's one thing. It's not even jealousy. It's patience, man. That's one thing. If you have patience, awareness, some of this stuff won't happen. Some of this stuff will happen, and you'll look at it and be like, my old self won't deal with this. Now I can deal with this. I'm ready, buddy. Whatever you're going to say, not going to hurt me. Whatever you're going to do is not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see people get in conflict, and I'm just like, it is what it is, man. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got time to join it. You know what I'm saying? I see when it is, it's not, it's not real and stuff. But hey, man, it is what it is. But yeah, bro, whatever your strong emotions, write it down. Ask friends and family if you want to figure out what strong emotions are yours, or what, ask them like, hey, what have you seen me react to? What emotions have you seen from me were so strong? You're like, yo, you let your emotions control yourself, or what I need to control better, Ask people, they'll give you, they'll tell you. You're not going to like what they're going to say. Just listen, get the best from it, and then do better, But yeah, man, don't let emotions control you. Awareness is very key in this. Patience is very key. Controlling your feelings, but making room of yourself and understanding, is it right for me to say this? Break that down. Will this hurt their feelings? You know, question yourself before you think. You know, think before you do is so great. Because before you do something, you could think, okay, maybe this could come bad for me, or this could turn out not well, you know? So that's really all I gotta say. But y'all have a great day. And as always, man, stay safe, chill with your loved ones, like, subscribe, comment, all that, you know, share, subscribe if you want to. But as always, adios amigos, hasta luego.